My apologies for the black screen. I get a lot of my moments that are free are at night time. I share a house with a whole family, and I don't have fancy LED lights, rings, and cameras and microphones, and a whole spare room to myself to play with at this point in time. So you get the messages as raw as they come off the press to me. So I just wanted to say, because it came up in another conversation, that something's coming. And this isn't Chicken Little, skies falling, something's coming. Those of us who are tuned in know that something is coming. Like if you're awake enough to see the fallout of 2001 by the time we got to 2005 or 6 or 7 and go, something's a bit off here. And then we got 2008, and then we got 2012. And by the time we got to 2016, you were out of excuses by that time. And then 2020 hit. And so by the time March 2022 rolled around, you're less than out of excuses. Like Blind Freddy could tell you that there's a train coming down the tracks. And that's all Blind Freddy can tell you, because we don't get to know. Like, it's not even a knowing. We're just blind. We're going into this blind because, in the words of a friend of mine, we have to go in blind. Otherwise it doesn't work. So whatever is coming, whatever event, we could just call it the event. That's catchy. It's been doing the rounds for a few years. When this event hits, and it's going to be short, sharp and shiny, you'll know. We can feel it building right now. Whenever this event hits, and whatever it looks like and however long the hit takes to play out, that time expansion that happens in that shock bubble when everything slows down in a car accident or whatever, we're going into this blind. And so you don't get to know. Even if you want to, I've been kicking and screaming for years. We don't get to know. We have to go in blind. So you can just go in totally blind with no faith and no anything. Or you could maybe think back on what's gone on in the last few moments, the last little while, and trust that that we get out the other side of it, because we've met our future selves already. Excuse me. I'll get the tech guys to edit that out. Our future selves have already popped back up in our lives to get us to here, Tenet style. And so if that's too much for you, well, we'll just go in blind, because we're going in blind anyway. But you can have a feel into that and just go, have I actually been in communication with me who's seen the other side of this event? And if that is the case, then that means, at the very least, I got through. So no matter what it is, no matter how it hits, and no matter what I'm called to do blind throughout this event, I must get through, because I have met me from the other side. And that's about all the solace you're going to get around what's coming. And so, you can be nervous or you can be nervous excited. They're kind of your options. Because whatever it is, it has ratcheted in much closer and much more present today than it was a week ago. For me, anyway. A week ago it was present, but now it's the elephant in the room. don't know what that looks like, and I don't know how long that takes to drop by design. But, as a child, especially when I went to boarding school in particular, but before then, I would wake up in the middle of the night at terrible nightmares, terrible dreams, astral, etheric, really not fun stuff for a child. I just got sick of it one day, and so I would wake up in the middle of the night and just walk around my house in the dark to train myself to be able to be okay with the shadows and to see in the dark. I mean, that's kind of one of the standing definitions of a shaman, is not one who chooses to walk in the dark, but one who walks in the dark. Whether you choose to or not, that's how you're built. So that's the tunnel that we're approaching at the moment. Is it's you're going to have to be okay with not knowing, and knowing that you're good with that. You've got everything you need. And that can be a big ask for some people, but if you can actually make enough space to do that, to be good with who you are and what you've got and where you're up to, and know that everything that you're still holding on to that's not of any importance or use, you can drop in an instant if you haven't already let go of it, then that's the best you're going to get. It's the old cliche of, how much light can you carry? There's going to be a light event. More light's going to flood in. Can you hold the light? And as proper physics will prove to you, matter is just slowed down light. Light is slowed down sound. And sound is slowed down ether. So, you want to know how much liquid light you can hold? How much hum can you handle? How much vibration can you take? How much sound? Can you be a whisper? Can you fade into a whisper? Because how much hum you can handle, and in this moment, is going to be a pretty good gauge of how much liquid light you can take on. And if you feel like you might need to take on more than you can, then you need more capacity. And that doesn't mean you need to build yourself up bigger. What that means is you need to drop some more stuff off. This is not about being bigger. This is about being emptier. Much love.